Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a behind the scene video of a photo shoot. I'll be using my Sony A7C and this lens Sony 55-210 F4.5-6.3 lens. This is a Sony E-mount lens, so it's very nice that I don't have to use an adapter. So it's just like can go in, and this lens is very lightweight. And for zoom lens that go to 210, this is actually pretty small, like consider a small lens to this focal length. This lens is very inexpensive. You can buy a new one for under $300 or a used one for under $200. So I'll be using this lens today for a photo shoot, and I'll be showing you guys some behind the scene and end results. I actually never really used this lens until now. I think it'll be fun to take it out and try it out. I'm just not quite a big fan of aperture that is 4.5-6.3. This is more like a kit lens. But anyway, I think it's really interesting that it goes to 210, so I will just be trying it out and use it for my photo shoot today. So let's go. Yeah, like that. Okay, back up more. 1, 2, 3.
I need to take a couple photos because this is an actual bow, so it takes effort.
Oh really? Okay. Oh, I love it. Maybe I chin down a little bit more. Yes. Oh, okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3. I really like the mountain background. Okay, right here. Cool. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm back from the photo shoot and I've selected a few of them to edit. So these are edited, and I will still show you guys the straight out of camera, the unedited version. So let's see the first picture here. On this left corner or on right corner here, you can see the photo setting. So this one I'm shooting at 55mm. So that's the widest in this lens, and this is the 100% zoom, as you can see here. So the picture quality is pretty nice. So I would say it's not it's not disappointing for a cheap lens like this. It's pretty sharp everything, but I do feel like maybe it's the character's costume, so it may not be focusing on the eyes. It may be focusing on the hair instead. So this is the 200% zoom. I honestly think that out of the whole picture here, not many people will zoom all the way to 200% to see a picture, especially if you're just sharing on your social media. So 100% is pretty enough to feel the picture quality. I do think that as 55 at F5.0, this is pretty sharp and nice quality. And let me zoom out, and here I will show you the before editing. So before editing, the color rating, we shot in a snowy mountain, so it's kind of white, black, gray in the background, but you can see the colors in her the model's costume is pop really nice. And here is the after edited, before and after. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. So let me show you the before I forget. So here's before and after. Before and after. And this picture I shot in 120mm f5.6. So usually I think 5.6 is just really high aperture. I would just if I were using my other lens, I would try to keep it 2.8 or 3.0. But yeah, so here we have a 5.6. Let's zoom into 100%. So I do think that even though my Sony A7C is a pretty smart camera, I don't think it's really focusing on the eyes well. It's possibly just because of the costume. So it was like focusing on the hair, I think. But at least it's not bad focus. For a cheap lens like this, it's pretty good quality, I think. Yeah, I like this picture. Here's a before and after. Let's see. Okay, this is another different focal length at 75mm at 5.0. So let me show you the before and after. Here I think it did a pretty good job in focusing, and the bokeh wise at 5.0, I don't think it's like really blurry in the background, but you can see it's still focused in the subject. Here is I shot at 100mm, so I think it's pretty good. I didn't realize I was shooting like here. It's kind of like the same spot at 55. Here is 100. So the one at 55 was at 5.0, and this is a 5.6. Let's zoom in, and yep, everything is pretty nice and sharp, and the subject is in focus. Here's a before and after. Let me show you the before. Okay, next picture is 70. So this is the same pose, but instead of having my model standing in the snow, I just move her to stand on the path so we can see the whole costume. This is aperture f5.0. So 100% zoom. Before and after. This next picture I shot in f1.22mm. I think my camera still did a good job just to focus on the subject. So here's a before and after. Let me zoom into 100 and you can see a before and after. Next picture, finally I shot in the furthest focal length at 210, so the aperture can only go down to 6.3, and here you can see the sharpness for portrait. I just really like shooting like wider, sorry, not wider, but like further, longer focal length, because I prefer like longer focal length. Even though you're going all the way to 6.3, you can still see the separation, the background separation from the subject, so it's like really blurry from the back. So honestly, if I'm just like showing myself this picture, I would be like, oh, this is a good like portrait lens. I think it could be like, 85 quality, but you're actually shooting at like 6.3, but like you're just going further at 210, like focal length wise. Here is before at 100 and after. Okay, here's another photo. I want 85mm, so it's 89mm instead of 85 at 5.0 aperture. It's so in focus. Let me zoom into 200. So it's like, for really inexpensive lens like this, I think this is totally a good like performance, really well performance. Here's a before and after. This lens, I think these two are like So the same position, I have her to like do a little chin down, and I assume I walk a couple step back, and so it was like 89 and now it's 98. I do think that both focal length are very similar, like the performance. Here's a 5.6, but okay, never mind. It's not like, I think this at 98 or 5.6 is really much sharper. So far from what I've seen, I do think that this lens is performing really well for portrait photography. And here I'm shooting at 104mm at 5.6. I'm just trying to like get her whole sore in the picture, because you know, like this one and this one I just want to focus on her eyes, and while this one I do want to show off her like really nice props. I think she made this sword herself, so it's a really cool thing to do as my model, a cosplayer. So at 104mm at 5.6. Here's a before, and this is the after. Let me just zoom in and you can see the before and after. So here I'm trying to shoot it in a lower angle so I can get some sky. It was just like magically like blue sky that day, and I feel like yeah, I need to capture some sky to match with her outfit and eyes. But you know, like shooting with a longer focal length, I can only go down to like 55 and just get like a little tiny bit sky, and I think my camera went pretty down low already. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. So this is 5.6 aperture. Here's a before and after. Let's zoom in to let you guys see. This sharpness though, like it's so focused on the subject. I don't know which one did a good job, my camera or the lens, or together they did a good job. So okay, the next one, shot at 90mm f 5.6, before and after. Here, shot at 144mm, so completely no sky anymore. I just want to focus on the model. It's before and after. So here I did have her like stand in these edges. I tried to like you know, take a picture of her like that cover of that character that she was modeling. Anyway, so yeah, I stood really far back and still shot at 56, trying to get as much as possible. So 56mm at 5.6. Here's the after, and this is a before. So I do want to like create that like dreamy mode, so that's why I think it's look really different than before I edited it. To zoom in 100%, I feel like because the subject is so far and she wasn't like facing a camera, so my camera just had a hard time like focusing on her, so I feel like it's kind of back focus a little bit. Okay, here's another one that I zoom in to 138mm at 5.6. So here's a before and after. Zoom into 100. So let's see the before and after. I think because yeah, the model wasn't facing the camera, so it wasn't detecting her face or her eyes, so it's kind of like still not focusing so sharply on the model. But when you zoom out, I think the whole picture is still look good. It's still, you can see it's focused on her instead of the background. This picture is shot at 129mm. Here's the before and after. I do feel like the 100% zoom, it can really show that the subject is in focus and is sharp enough to is sharp enough for 100 zoom. So the next picture is 152 millimeter, a little bit more zoom in than this one. Here's the before and here's the after. You can see at 5.6 aperture, the background is still like very clear. You can see all these trees details, so it's not like very blurry. But I would say at 5.6, as long as like for portrait photography, the subject is in focus, so that's like more important. Here we're back to the widest focal length at 55. It's before and after. Is it before and after? This next one is also at 55. Here's the same pose. I just shot it at 100 millimeter. So both of them are at 5.6. So, and you can see because the longer focal length, you can tell that the background is like blurrier. Zoom in even more at 155 millimeter. Here we're back to a little less zoom at 80 millimeter, and it was like an action shot, so she was actually spinning. For like action shot, she was spinning. I think I should have booped up I should have made the shutter speed higher. So, but actually I do think that the camera actually just focus on the bell area. Okay, before and after. This is another moving shot that she was spinning. I shot at 114 millimeter. So here's back to a little less zoom at 89 millimeter. This is 69 millimeter. $176 millimeter. So these are all the photos that I've edited, and the ones that I wanted to show you guys from this photo shoot. I do think that this lens is highly recommended if you're on a budget, if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want something very versatile, lightweight, and easy to carry around. You see, like from 55, this is such a versatile focal length. But if you do like those prime lens look, those prime lens feel like those 85 1.4 feels. If you like just walk a couple steps away from your subject, you can like zoom at 210 and it will still give you that kind of look. Yeah, and for the sharpness, this price, I mean, like for this lens, this is like really sharp. If you're like doing portrait photography, you can make a lot of creation out of this lens. And it's a Sony brand, so it's not like off brand that it's just like E-mount. So this is like actually made in Sony brand E-mount, so you don't need an adapter if you're using a Sony camera. So overall, I do think that this lens is very fun, very nice to have. So if you guys consider using this lens for, like a starting off being a portrait photographer, or just like general lifestyle photographer, or just if you're just like looking for a new lens that is inexpensive, then I would totally recommend you to to give this lens a chance. Yeah, so this is all in this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and please consider to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. And if you guys are leaving a comment, just be kind, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.